Hello there ladies and gents, today I am looking at the CS-52 LIS. I think it's called LIS, I don't speak Polish, but I did look it up and LIS in Polish means fox, and the camo which is on it has got a little fox on the side of it, so I'm assuming that it actually does mean it. Anyway, it is a tier out premium medium tank which you can buy in the premium shop outright or at the percentage discount based on your marathon progression. Now obviously if you get to 100% you get it for free. It's sort of review, but I'm not going to compare it to other tanks or tell you how to get on in the marathon, as there are plenty of other videos that tell you how to do that all over YouTube. This is more about how I use the characteristics of the vehicle and how I, as an average player, use it to the best of my ability. Of course, the benefits of it being a premium tank are that it's increased credit making and also the crew skill training. For me, and I said how I play it, my loadout is 23 AP shells, 10 APCR shells and 2 HE shells. I have vents on it, a rammer and vert stabs. Now, although the speed is 50 km/h forwards, it's got 19.39 horsepower per tonne, and it gets to it fairly sharpish, so I like to get a fairly aggressive forward position to use the gun. It's 7 degrees of gun depression and it's 320 alpha off a 7.8 reload to dish out some decent damage. I like to get up there and use it. Now it's got 190mm of turret armour at the front, so if you can get hull down in it, it can bounce some shots, but the rest of the armour is suspect to say the least. But so far in 46 games, I reckon I've only seen a tier 10 matchup 3 or 4 times, which is actually quite shocking, to be fair. What I do like about the gun on this thing is it eats tier 6s, tier 7s and some tier 8s for breakfast. The 208 pen with the AP shells is a little bit lackluster against armoured vehicles, so knowledge of the weak points or how the pen indicator on the reticle works, you know, like red, that ain't gonna work, green more than likely gonna pen, so you can get the damage off. If I'm playing it at a bit of a distance and needing to lead shots, then I will switch to APCR, not so much for the OK 252 pen that it has, but for the whopping 1569 meters per second shell velocity, which I absolutely love. Those things absolutely fly out and just disappear into the distance. The 0.33 dispersion is quite deceptive in that some snapshots are quite common and you think, wow, how on earth did I hit that? But then also sometimes you get some total misses as well. It is a tank I like to get involved with, brawling and pushing up with, but I'm well aware that it's quite soft and takes a smack if you don't have support. So I do my best to play it where I'm not going to be isolated. For me, it has a similar play style to the likes of the Type 59, the T-34-3, and very much like its tech tree counterpart, the CS-53. But like with any ammunition, what is worth noting, if you look at my damage record down in the bottom left there, is yeah, I've had one at 320 against the T-44, well actually 328, but also that one against the Guard was 266. Now, the aiming time isn't bad, and this is worth noting that when you're shooting, if you don't see any splash, you might be hitting something, so I'm hoping that there's something there, so I'm going to take a couple of shots at it. Well, I've had 2 shots there, and it doesn't look like it's registered as a splash behind, so I'm assuming that something is there. And that's a 3rd shot, so I might as well keep pumping them in. You never know. I'm not going to get spotted because I'm using the, like that one there, that splash behind. So if I was hitting something, now it's moved. I'm using the minimap markers to make sure I'm out of render anything there. And that was a 2nd shot to show that, well, that wasn't anything. Now, as I was talking about snapshots, I'm now driving on the move, and I know this Progetto 46 is there, and I'm also a bit concerned. So watch, here we go, look at this, pops out, snapshot on the move, tracks him for 346, but my concern is this AMX M449, yeah, just hits me straight away, no problem, because I've got no armour. Now I've spotted the CS-53 up there, which again is the counterpart of it. I don't know how I hit that, but I did. So that is the randomness of this gun. It really works. Now I take time to aim it. I hit that one, and it looks like I have hit the UDAs a few times, Now if I aim it in and take the shot, that's the dispersion of it. It dropped really low. Now I thought I was in cover as well, so that's how suspect the armour is. The UDES hit me, and I don't really fancy going against 350. That was a nice shot. The AMX will just go straight through. So what I'm doing is using this rocky outcrop as much as possible to see if I can side scrape against. I know I've got a TD up on my right hand side in this AMX on the left. I'm also quite wary that Artie will make a beeline for me. Now I'm too over angled here. So what I like to do is stay slightly zoomed out to make sure I can see where the enemy's gun is facing. Now if it's not facing me, then I know I've got a potential amount of time to pop out and take a shot. But it's a bit of a stalemate, and even at this angle, if I reverse out, he will go straight through me and pen me with this AMX. So I'm not prepared to do anything. I'm just hoping, and to be fair, in this replay it will happen, that my teammates will come around and spot this AMX. And it's all about picking the opportune moment for taking your shots. I've only got 318 health, so I know I can't be one shot by the AMX. However, the UDES can. Now, if I get hit by Artie and the AMX M449L, then I am a goner, and I don't really want to be killed, obviously, because I'm trying to win the game. We've got an STRV and a Charioteer and a Lanson, and what I'm doing is I'm highlighting the position of the UDES, because at the moment I've got myself backed into what I would call some form of a corner. Now there's the AMX, he is looking at me, he has seen me, so I'll just angle it slightly so he doesn't... Well, he dinked it into the rocky outcrop and I was able to move out. And the Artie was waiting for me, but it puts a nice one in for 343, which, like I say, 320 alpha is pleasant. So I'm waiting to... This STRV is now coming round, and I'm using my teammates to help me. See, they're out enough, so he's turned his gun and I'll put one through. Now just move back in, because obviously he spotted me. But the STRV's been hit by that UDES. Now I can't see him, and I has done, so he's going to have to be behind that rock. So the only thing I can do, again, I believe it's got 17 degrees of elevation, so I need to be in a position where he's not going to shoot me, but I'm going to be able to shoot him. So I'll reverse it out and have a look if I can see him, because the S1 should spot that UDES. Now there he is, and I don't have any line, but I still seem to hit him. It's these shots, that's about the third or fourth shot in this game where I've hit and I've no idea how I've done it. But that, again, that is the luck, that is the RNG, and that's how this gun seems to work for me. Anyway, it was a victory, so let's have a look and see how it fared out. So as you can see, it was a nice little victory there with a first class badge, fire for effect bruiser, plus I also got the high caliber and Confederate award, which was nice. And also it was a game for me as an average player, which I'm particularly proud of a win rate of 7,283. A gross total of 112,748 credits, 25 bonds for some mission that I've done, and because of all sorts of other different missions and multipliers that are on, it was an experience of 8,553. My total damage was 4,069, which is a fair decent damage, even if I do say so myself, for a tier 8 medium. And my base experience was 1,118. I fired 19, and obviously quite a few of those were blind, but of the ones I hit, of 13, I penned 13, and that was without firing any premium ammunition. Although I did do 1,633 damage at more than 300 meters. I received 3 hits and all 3 of those penned, which I'm not actually surprised about. And the repair of the vehicle was 5,973. The resupply of the ammo was 9,120. So I actually made In total, 97,655, and then another 11,275 into my reserve stock. Even if I was running a standard account, I would have made 60,000 credits. Now, again, yeah, it is a premium vehicle, so be it, that happens, but unless you're going to fire all out premium, it's not an expensive tank to run either. Now, having played the tier 8 Polish tank from the tech tree, they play very similar, and I know premium tanks are supposed to be not quite as good as tech tree tanks, but this one is particularly balanced. Once you get used to the fact that you've got 0 armour, unless you're lucky, get lucky bounces from being hull down, then it's a decent tank to play. So gets up to a decent speed quickly, even though it is only 50. It gets 50 kilometers an hour. It gets to it in a short space of time. The gun, I love the gun on it. It does what it's supposed to do. Even with the little standard AP pen, it still pens when it needs to. But when going up against 9s and 10s, you will have to fire premium ammunition. But premium tank, that's offset with the extra credit income that you get. And like with all premium vehicles, it's your money, you do what you want with it. Buy it outright if you want to. Do a couple of stages, get a percentage off, or grind it out for free. It is a fun tank to play, in my opinion, and for an average player like me, I find it pretty easy to use and pretty easy to play. So make what you want from this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye bye.